Let's imagine this actually happens. One morning, people wake up to breaking news. Massive pumps are draining Earth's oceans into outer space. No one knows who built the pumps. Aliens? Super rich tech billionaires? A prank by physics students with too much free time? Doesn't matter. The oceans are going fast. At first, it's weird. Fish flop helplessly on now dry coral reefs. Whales hang midair for a moment, like confused flying buses, before thudding to the seafloor. Boats settle on dry sand, confused captains looking around like they missed an important memo. Tourists rush to take selfies in the middle of the former Atlantic Ocean while it's still wet and squishy. Then the real chaos begins. You see, the oceans aren't just giant swimming pools for whales and submarines. They are massive planetary engines. They store heat, regulate weather, and balance Earth's delicate climate. And without them, things start to fall apart, fast. First, the atmosphere freaks out. Normally, oceans absorb huge amounts of heat from the sun. Without them, Earth's land masses heat up like frying pans. Coastal cities turn into blast furnaces. The temperature differences between land and what little water remains cause winds to go completely insane. Think hurricanes, but everywhere, all the time. Second, our planet starts to shrink, sort of. Losing all that water, about 1.4 billion cubic kilometers of it, means Earth's mass decreases. Not by much, only about 0.02%, but enough to slightly reduce gravity. You might be a fraction of a gram lighter. Not enough to make you fly, but enough to make Olympic records meaningless. And then, the moon starts drifting away. Wait, what? Yep. The oceans are responsible for tidal forces that act like a gravitational tug-of-war between Earth and the moon. With no oceans, those tidal interactions vanish. That means the moon gradually drifts outward faster, changing its orbit. Over centuries, nights grow darker, animal behavior changes, and the Earth's rotation, which is slowly slowing down thanks to the moon, stops slowing down. Earth keeps spinning at its current rate forever. Great news for time consistency. Terrible news for ecosystems that rely on tides and lunar cycles. Meanwhile, space gets wet. Really wet. You might think draining water into space just means it floats away harmlessly. Nope, space hates water. Once the ocean water escapes Earth's gravity, it instantly starts to freeze and expand into massive clouds of ice vapor. These clouds drift through the solar system, creating glittery frozen rivers in space. One accidentally hits a satellite. Another freezes the International Space Station's solar panels. NASA files a very annoyed complaint. Back on Earth, things keep getting worse. Marine life? Gone. 90% of Earth's biodiversity lived in the oceans. Now they're dry fossils. Coral reefs, bleached and brittle. Great white sharks, beached and sunburned. Squids, existentially confused. Even microorganisms that helped produce oxygen, dead. So now Earth is slowly running out of breathable air. Weather collapses. Without ocean evaporation, there's almost no more rain. Crops die, rivers dry up, forests catch fire, entire ecosystems fall apart like dominoes. Humans start doing very human things, blaming each other, building bunkers, and writing think pieces called, "Was Water Ever That Great, Really?" Then the earthquakes begin. No, seriously. Removing all the water means massive pressure is taken off Earth's tectonic plates. The ocean floors, once pressed down under billions of tons of water, start springing upward. This isostatic rebound sounds innocent, like a trampoline bouncing back. In reality, it causes mega earthquakes, underwater mountains rising, and even volcanoes erupting in new places. Countries that never had volcanoes now get surprise lava in their backyards. Also, the poles melt. You might think, wait, the oceans are gone, so Earth is colder, right? Not really. The oceans helped spread heat around the planet. Now that heat piles up in places like the equator, while the poles go nuts. Ice sheets crack, permafrost melts. Methane, a super powerful greenhouse gas, escapes into the atmosphere. Now we've got supercharged climate change. And all the frozen viruses that scientists warned us about, surprise, they're back, and angry. Meanwhile, scientists try to send missions into orbit to study the giant cloud of frozen ocean, now slowly orbiting Earth like a glittery halo of failure. One team discovers a perfect dolphin encased in ice, still smiling. They name it Flipper 2 and declare it a symbol of humanity's poor life choices. Despite the chaos, some people adapt. Desert cities install artificial lakes. New religions form around the return of water. Billionaires bottle the last seawater and sell it for absurd prices. One guy becomes famous for drinking the final cup of ocean water on livestream and then immediately throws up. And what about Earth itself? After years without oceans, the planet looks like a cracked marble. Dry seabeds become deserts. Earthquakes reshape continents. Rainforest collapses, and Antarctica becomes a rocky wasteland. It's not quite Mars yet, but we're getting there. Eventually, the Earth stabilizes. Kind of. It's still dry, still hot, and definitely more boring without whales and sea monsters. The last surviving fish is on display in a tank somewhere in Nevada. And school children of the future look at maps and ask, wait, what was the Pacific? The oceans gave Earth life, balance, and mystery. Without them, we are just another dead rock drifting through space. And the worst part? Without the oceans, there are no more beach days. Truly, the end.